It's summertime up here in the northern hemisphere, the best hemisphere, and that means it's time for the second episode of TSIMG, aka Turning Seasons into Magical Girls. We, as in Steve and I, are going to create an original character based off of the season of summer. I'm excited for this one, so let's see how powerful and kawaii summer can be. So here is the sketchbook. I've been using this multimedia one because I don't have any regular sketchbooks at the moment. So this was Spring's page. If you guys haven't seen Spring's video, go check it out. It's kind of part one in this series. So I guess we'll do Summer's thumbnailing design here. And we have Steve to accompany us. How you doing, Steve?
Stop it. I said stop it.
Oh, okay, sorry, Steve. So, just like I did with Spring, I'm going to first draw a body that we can just kind of put stuff on. I wanted to have this sort of authority-ness to her, if that makes any sense. I definitely want Summer to be kind of the ringleader of the 4 seasons. That's a weird hand pose. It looks ungodly.
You look ungodly.
Jeez, Steve, you're in such a mood today. Or whatever, her arm is just sticking out this side. As for her face, I'm thinking kind of slick eyes. She's probably in favor of like the cat eye makeup. So when I think of summer, I think of obviously hot weather, sun, but I also think of water. There's a lot of swimming going on. So her hair kind of resembles a waterfall. At least that's my thinking. Because when I think of summer, I think of a lot of water. This arm really looks like disconnected from her body. But that's okay!
Maybe in your world.
Alright, now as for her outfit, I think that Summer's daytime incognito life is like she's gonna be really into surfing, maybe. So then maybe we'll put like a surfboard. I have no idea how surfboards work. So we'll just say that that looks about right. We will erase her disconnected arm and just make it look like it's behind the board.
Cheater.
It'll have like a sun emblem. I want each of the seasons to have a bit of an emblem that represents their season. For spring, hers was like a cherry blossom. For summer, obviously it's gotta be sun. Fun in the sun, yeah.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, I know, Steve. Okay, jeez. And she works out a lot because she does a lot of surfing. She's a very outdoorsy type. I think that's gonna be a bit of her thing. She loves surfing, rock climbing, whatever other things that the active people participate in. I wouldn't know. I think her shorts will go like down almost to her knees. Yeah, so I think Summer does a lot of summer jobs, you know, surfing instructor, swim instructor for kiddies. I don't know why I'm making all of the seasons, even though they're like teenagers. I'm like, they have to have a job. Why do they have to have a job? They should just be they can just be a student. They're only 16. Jeez.
Maybe you're projecting something.
Oof. You cut me deep, Steve. So, another thing that comes to mind with the season of summer are the summer blues. I feel like Summer is somebody who gives a lot to other people, but because of that, she kind of always feels like the need to put up that image of being the strong one, of being the sure one. So, when the pressure gets to her, at times, she can fall into these kind of long periods of feeling pretty darn depressed because she always feels like she needs to be the one to calm the room and never be the source of a problem. I'm spending like way too much time on this one sketch. Like this is supposed to just be for thumbnailing. Like I'm supposed to finalize her design on the other piece of paper. I'm gonna so regret this later because I'm not gonna be able to replicate it on the other piece of paper. Oh, she does need something that turns into her scepter. What could that be? I don't think it can be the surfboard because that's very large and you can't really carry that around with you all the time. Ooh, but maybe the surfboard turns into something magical. Like it flies or something. She can like surf in the air with it. Oh, that's gonna be so cool. Okay, but first I have to focus on her incognito stuff. Ooh, let's see what she looks like in a ponytail. I guess she has a bit of a Ariana Grande look. So what is a summery item that she can hold on to? Like Goggles? Oh my god, that'd be so lame. Sunglasses? Ooh! And those sunglasses become kind of her scepter thingy. Yo. I mean, that looks kind of cool, maybe? She looks better without them on, but whatever. I think she's gonna definitely have a dog as her animal companion. Especially she's an outdoorsy type. But the big question is, how do you draw a dog? I would ask Steve, but I put him in a timeout zone
I don't deserve this.
because he was being too sassy. What the heck? How do the legs work with dogs? I don't know what kind of dog this is. Whatever, we'll figure it out when I actually go to draw it for real. This is just a thumbnail. I think that Summer really, really loves popsicles. She just freaking loves popsicles. So then maybe the pouch that she has strapped to her leg, as you can see right here, is a little cooler where she keeps some popsicles at the ready. And I do think that her sunglasses are going to basically be her magical scepter thing that helps her transform into magical girl mode. But the surfboard is going to be special too. Alright, I think I'm pretty happy with how Incognito Summer looks. So now we're going to move on to thumbnailing the magical girl transformation. I don't think that's what people look like when they're surfing. My thinking is the surfboard, it flies in the air, so she can surf in the air. It's like Silver Surfer style, except it's golden. Not a ripoff. Like, it looks like the sun surface. The sun surfer. And that's for her outfit. I feel like most magical girls do wear a dress of some kind, but I don't know if that's gonna fit with Summer. She just has shorts. She has like a bat wing situation going on here, and when she puts her arms completely upwards, it becomes like a full sun. So it's kind of like a cape or a cloak. I think that's pretty cool. Ooh, maybe she has that thing like her eyes become like white or on fire or something. Like her pupils go away. And I think when she transforms, she doesn't have any shoes. She's just totally barefoot. I like how her design is, but I'm not so sure she looks very magical girl-ish. I feel like she looks more like a really cool superhero, which I guess that's kind of what magical girl is, but I feel like the subtype of superhero, which is magical girl, tends to be like cuter, like more ruffles and more bows and more things like that. Hers is very slick because that's just kind of the feeling I get from this character. I feel like the season of Summer it's supposed to be hot and like you go outside, you be active. I just don't feel like bows and ribbons and ruffly dresses really fit that whole aspect. So I don't know. I mean, sure, she's my character. I can do whatever the heck I want, but I don't know. It's like if I am calling her a magical girl, then I kind of feel like I should be sticking to that well-known aspects of it. But I don't know, maybe I can make an exception with Summer, because I do think she looks pretty cool. As for the color palette, I think Summer colors are going to be definitely like yellow, golden, orange. I also feel like black. I don't know why black reminds me of Summer. But whatever. That's what my gut is telling me. A nice sharp blue, which kind of represents like blue sky or crisp water to swim in or something like that. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna go with. But we'll see. We'll see. What do you think, Steve?
I think this is cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah. Okay. And now that the thumbnailing is finished, let's get drawing for real, as I say. So, summertime sort of is stereotypically very energetic. There's a lot of outdoorsy things, maybe barbecues or parties, maybe not this year, but in the past. And of course, it's also very hot, and heat is energy. Science. So I definitely knew that Summer, the character, was going to be the most powerful of the 4 seasons. And as action anime goes, the most powerful character is also usually the leader. Well, sometimes. Sometimes the leader is like the underdog that becomes the most powerful by the end of the anime, but we're not here to talk about anime right now, are we? Moving on. But another side of summertime that I feel is also really prevalent is being tired and sluggish and exhausted and even depressed at times. And so when it came to the whole personality for Summer, which I will narrate a little later in this video, so stick around, I wanted her to have these 2 very drastically opposite sides to her character, where on one hand she is the energetic, take charge, take responsibility type, but on the flip side, because she puts so much pressure and expectation on herself to always be the leader and the one with the brave face, it can sometimes be too much to take, and she can pitfall into like really bad mental mindsets. And I thought those 2 sides help make her more interesting and more real, even though with this series I am kind of just embracing cliches and not thinking so much about like great character development, but that was just kind of the whole vibe I was getting when I thought about this character. So sue me, I put some real life stuff in that. As for the design, I did really like the shapes I had come up with for her character during the thumbnailing sketchy phase, with the long straight hair, kind of square shoulders. But as for the colors, she does look a little like the Swedish flag, not gonna lie.
Not that there's anything wrong with the Swedish flag.
I definitely struggled with the color palette for this one, because obviously I wanted to incorporate summery colors, but the colors that kept coming to mind were kind of really obnoxious and bright. I feel like springtime has kind of light pastel colors, autumn has subdued earthy tones, and winter has cold washed out tones, but summer is that kind of obnoxiously strong color palette season, and I find it really difficult to mesh very vibrant colors together in a way that's pleasing to the eye. I tend to like to work with a more washed out, subdued color palette with maybe 1 or 2 colors that are very vibrant and become the main focus of the color palette. But overall, I think it's alright because summer is the sporty type, and like all the sports clothes and shoes, at least for women, tend to be very heavy on the clashing neon colors for some reason, so it works. And as for her doggy, I did do a bit of research on different breeds of doggos, and I ended up feeling like an Australian Shepherd would be perfect for this character. 1, because Australian Shepherds are supposed to be an active, outdoorsy breed, and 2, the colors are white, black, and orange, which are colors in Summer's design already. Why am I talking so annoyingly? So I snatched some good old reference photos so that I could draw the doggo without it looking like that. And the doggo's name is Go-Go, and she is Summer's closest friend, even though Summer's closest human friends are, of course, the other 3 seasons. When Summer dips into one of her low depressive times, Go-Go is the only one she feels okay to keep her company. And Go-Go is really sweet and well-trained and positive, but she will sometimes get very irritated by Winter's cat, who is a big fat grump. But you guys will have to wait until wintertime to see what that looks like. And that was Summer's daytime incognito look. Now it's time to move on to her magical girl transformation. So I again struggled a bit with figuring out the colors for Summer's magical girl transformation outfit. One thing I did try that ended up working out pretty well was having her top and bottom gradient from yellow to red like a sunset. I've never really tried blending colors with paint pens before, and I might have even thrown a little shade in my day about people blending with paint pens and how it's kind of missing the point of using a paint pen if you're gonna blend the colors anyway. But I guess I'm now a hypocrite because it worked and it does look pretty cool, so I might have to take back that shade, you know. Throw y'all back into the sun, as it were. Wow, that was cheesy in my head, but when I said it, it was like it was cheese fondue. I actually did two slightly different versions among these three drawings, where in drawing 1, her sun cape is blue on the outside, but in drawing 3, it's orange on the outside. And I also tried both blue and brown for the line work color to see what would look better. And I do actually think that drawings 2 and 3 look better color palette wise overall because they don't have the blue, and I guess the blue just kind of clashes a bit too much. But y'all can let me know what you think about that. I also played around with the idea of her sort of getting a blonde strip of hair when she transforms, kind of as a little hat tip to classic 90s anime like Dragon Ball Z, but it ended up looking kind of strange, so I changed it back to all black in the end. And of course, we must talk about Summer's move/attack list, which was really fun to come up with, as always. Probably the best part of this series is just coming up with a bunch of random moves. She's got basic moves like Glare, which temporarily blinds the enemy, and Drought, which makes the opponent start uncontrollably sweating profusely until they start to feel very dehydrated and exhausted. She's got power moves like Supernova, which I don't really know what that looks like, but I'm sure it looks really cool. Maybe like a beam. Maybe it's a beam move. There you go. But my personal favorite has got to be Break Time, which is a hypnotic-based move which psychs out the enemy into feeling like it's a really good time to chill out and relax and take a break from work or school and just enjoy the sun rays and have fun. It's not uncommon for the enemy to suddenly just find the closest bench and sit back with a drink. Summer's super special final move is her most powerful, and it's called Heat Wave. Pretty self-explanatory. To do this move, she brings her arms up like in drawing 2, which opens up her cape into a full sun, and from this she sends an intense, dry heat wave, and anyone caught in this wave, better like their french fries extra crispy, if you're catching my drift here. Summer also, of course, has her special molten flying surfboard, which is kind of the magical transformation of her normal surfboard, and it's kind of like Goku's flying Nimbus. She doesn't really need it to get around or fly around, but it's faster and better for longer distances. And that is Summer. There you go. And now, as I like to do in these videos, I have written up a little proper introduction to Summer, which I shall narrate for you guys now. So sit back and relax. And here we go. Summer is a 16-year-old girl, and from first glance, one would think she's a little Miss Perfect. She's confident, she's strong, she takes charge, and helps those around her. She's the ringleader of the 4 seasons, quite pretty, and is a pretty bad bleep surfer to top it all off. Indeed, many classmates tend to get jealous of Summer's seemingly got-it-all-together approach of life. But what most people don't see is the pressure and expectation always looming in the back of Summer's head. Having always grown up being the best at sports and being put in situations of responsibility, like looking after her younger brother, Summer got used to being the one at the top. The one people looked to for a goal to reach or a helping hand. It was who she was. But if ever it seems like she can't keep up or falls short of being the best, it leaves an intense feeling of failure in Summer. If she wasn't the strong one, then what other worth did she have? Part of the reason why Summer seems to never stop working on goals, helping others, or doing something active is to keep her mind off of the pressure and looming worry of failure. But sometimes it gets to be too much, and the pressure seeps through the cracks, leaving Summer in long periods of depressive lows. Her friends, Spring, Autumn, and Winter, are close enough to Summer to recognize when she's struggling, and always they try to help. But Summer finds it difficult to confide in even her closest friends about her personal feelings, and feels the need to handle things alone. Thankfully though, she's never truly alone, because her trusty companion Go-Go is always around to keep her company, and bring her popsicles, Summer's favorite food in the world. But Summer isn't all leadership and loneliness. As her friends know, she's a regular girl with quirks just like the rest of us. For one, not being able, for the life of her, to get a grasp of technology, which is something her friends often tease her about when she can't figure out how to send an email. All in all, Summer is protective and loving of the people around her, and is someone the rest of the seasons are proud to have as their friend and leader. You've now been properly introduced to Summer. And her brother, apparently. He just popped out of nowhere. And that concludes this episode of TSIMG. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the creation of this character. I definitely had a lot of fun creating her, especially her personality. It's always fun to play with cliches, but it's nice to bring in some real-world depth into characters. It just kind of makes them more lovable, at least as the creator. But I'd love to hear what you guys think, so let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening and spending some of your day with me. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe and smackety-dab that little bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. If you'd like to support me and this channel by grabbing my books or other items from my shop, all that and more can be found on my website, Zaccura.com. The link is down below in the description box, along with links to all of the tools and materials I used in this video in case any of y'all are curious. Happy summer to all of my fellow Northern Hemispherians, and I guess have an okay winter to y'all down south.
She actually loves all of you guys. She's just being a big old...
Shush, Steve! Stupid whale. Until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, always. See ya!